आरम्भं कुर्मः। ॐ श्रीमात्रे नमः। शिवाय गुरवे नमः। खड्गं चक्रगदेषु चापपरिघान् शूलं भुषुण्डीं शिरः शङ्खं सन्दधतीं करैस्त्रिनयनां सर्वाङ्गभूषावृताम् नीलाश्मज्युतिमास्य पाददशकां सेवे महाकालिकाम् यामस्तौ चैते हरौ कमलजो हन्तुं मधुं कैटभम् अक्षस्रत्परशु गदेषु कुलिशं पद्मं धनुः कुण्डिकां दण्डं शक्तिमसिञ्च चर्मजलकं घण्टां सुराभाजनं शूलं पाशसुदर्शने च दधतीं हस्तैः प्रवालप्रभां सेवे सैरिभमर्दिनीमिह महालक्ष्मीं सरोजस्थिताम् घण्टाशूलहला निशङ्खमुसले चक्रं धनुस्सायकम् हस्ताब्जैर्दधतीं घनान्तविलसत् सुतुल्यप्रभां गौरीदेहसमुद्भवान् त्रिजगताम् आधारभूतां पूर्वामत्र सरस्वतीमनुभजे शुम्भादिदैत्यार्दिनीम् मातर्मे मधुकैटभग्निमहिषप्राणापहारोद्यते हेलानिर्मितधूम्रलोचनवधे हे चण्डमुण्डार्दिनि निःशेषीकृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसिनि संहरासु दुरितं दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके। In the last class, we are discussing the Panchamodhyaya, that is Devi Duta Samvada, where Devas were convincingly defeated. This is the Tritiya Charitra, where Devatas were convincingly defeated by Shumbha and Nishumbha, and they did the Prarthana to Mahashakti Durga, and when the Devakruta Aparajita Stotram was complete, Parvati came and asked, whom are you praying for? And then the Shakti, that Kaushiki Shakti came out of her body and said, it is me they are praying for, and I will then Parvati said, okay, definitely go to the Dakshina Pranta of Himalayas and complete the Devakarya. And she was there, Kaushiki Shakti was there in the Himalaya Pranta, and then two asuras came and saw her and were surprised to see such a kind of divine beauty, and they went and reported the same to Shumbha and Nishumbha and said, you definitely need to have her as your wife. There is no one of that beauty is there, and that Tripura Sundari is that kind of beauty doesn't exist in the world. And Shumbha sent out a minister called Sugriva to convince Devi to marry him. And she said, oh, he tries to convince her by saying many things. He has such a kind of wealth. He is so powerful. And if you don't come, basically, you will be dragged and taken by force, and so on and so forth. And Devi says, oh, what can I do? I already made a promise to myself to marry only someone who can defeat me in the war. And he tries to convince. She says, "Go away and tell the same thing to your king." Sattvam gacchamaye voktam yadetat sarvamadrutah tada jakshvasurendraya cha sacha yuktam karotu yat. That's the verse we stopped. Okay, you go and tell exactly what I told you, and see what he does, and do according to what he says, and don't try to convince me. So she sent him off. And in this, and that is where the narration, that's when that's where we stopped last week. We'll continue with it. And it. चण्डमुण्डवधो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः, सप्तशत्यां षष्ठमोऽध्यायः. ऋषिरिवाच, ऋषि is Sumedhasa is continuing the story. इत्याकर्ण्यवचो देव्याः सदूतो मर्षपूरितः समाचष्ट समागम्य दैत्यराजाय विस्तरात्. इति आकर्ण्य, इति देव्याः वचनं, देव्याः वचः आकर्ण इति आकर्ण. Having listened Devi's words, सः दूतः अमर्षपूरितः. सः दूतः अमर्षः. अमर्षः means anger. He is taken by anger. समाचष्ट समागम्य दैत्यराजाय विस्तरात्. समाचष्ट, after having returned, Daityarajaya Samagamya, Shumbha approached Shumbharaja and narrated the entire conversation with Devi to him. Tasya dutasya tadvakyam आकर्ण्यासुरराट् ततः सक्रोधः प्राह दैत्यानाम् अधिपं धूम्रलोचनः लोचनम्. तस्य दूतस्य तद्वाक्यम् आकर्ण्य सुरराट् ततः. ततः then दूतस्य तद्वाक्यम् आकर्ण्य, having listened to everything that was told by Sugriva, सक्रोधः प्राह दैत्यानाम् अधिपं धूम्रलोचनम्. He called Sakrodhaha, with lot of anger, he called Daityanam Adhipam, a general in his army, called dhUmralochana. dhUmralochana means misty eyes. Dhumra, like he cannot see properly. That kind of that is the special name of that Daitya. He called him and said the following: हे धूम्रलोचनाशुत्वं स्वसैन्यपरिवारितः तामानय बलाद्दुष्टां केशाकर्षणविह्वलाम्. All said and done, he knows only one way. If you get everything by force. Okay. So he said, He dhumralochana, ashutvam, ashu, listen, tvam, swasainya parivarataha, go with all your sainyas. Tam anaya, dushtam, tam dushtam, balad dushtam anaya. That wicked lady, bring her. Balat keshakarshana vihvalam, drag her by hair and bring her to me. That is the first instruction. He is so enraged. He thought, how can a woman challenge him, and that too on a duel? And she must be out of her mind. So just teach her a lesson and drag her by force and bring her to me. That's the instruction Shumbha gave. That is his natural tendency. तत्परित्राणदः कश्चित् यदि वोत्तिष्ठते परः सहन्तव्यो मरो वापि यक्षो गन्धर्व एव वा परित्राणः anybody comes to her rescue कश्चिद्यदि उत्तिष्ठते अपरः if anyone comes to her help स हन्तव्यः that person her help should be killed immediately. Doesn't matter saha amaraha va yakshaha va gandharvaha va, doesn't matter whoever that is, just kill anybody that comes your way of doing this job and bring her to me by force. Rishiruvacha तेनाज्ञप्तस्ततश्शीघ्रं सदैत्यो धूम्रलोचनः ऋतषष्ट्या सहस्राणाम् असुराणां द्रुतं ययौ शुम्भेन आज्ञाप्यतेन तेन इत्युक्ते अत्र शुम्भेन आज्ञापतः thus ordered by Shumbha Shighram Saha Daityaha Dhumralochana, immediately Dhumralochana Vrutaha Shashtya Sahasranam Shashtya Sahasranam Asuranam Vrutaha, with a army of 60,000 Rakshasa Drutam Yayau, immediate Drutam, quickly he went about. He approached Devi, where Devi was. Sadruštva tam tato Devi tuhina chala samsthitam jagadocche prayahiti moolam shumbhani shumbhayoho. He approached the Devi tuhina chala samsthitam. Tuhinam means snow. Tuhina achalam, Himalayam. He reached the Himavat Parvata Pranta and saw the Devi. Sadruštva Devim tataha. Then he saw the Devi and said immediately, Jagada Uchchaihi, shouted from a distance and said, Hey Devi, surrender. Surrender to Shumbha. And Shumbha immediately he came there with 60,000 large army, otherwise face the consequences. So essentially, he said surrender right away. Nachet prityadya bhavati madbhartaramupayishyati tato balannayamyesha kesha karshana vihpalam. Direct threat only. If you nachet pritya adya bhavati mad bhartaram upayishyati. Bharta in this case is Prabhu. If you accept Shumbha, then you are obviously you will become worship worthy for us. So basically, that will be the one option. If not, Tataha balan nayam yeshaha kesha karshana vihvalam. Otherwise, our orders are pretty straight and clear. We have to drag you by hair and take you there by force. Okay, so that is the warning right away. Devyuvacha, she is not moved at all, and दैत्येश्वरेण प्रहितो बलवान् बलसंवृतः बलान्नयसि मामेवं ततः किं ते करोम्यहम्. You are naturally you balavan balasamrutaha. You are strong, and that too you came here with army, and you are sent here by your boss Daityeshwaraha Shumbhaha. So anyway, you made up your mind. Balannayasi, by force, you are ready to take me from here. That is your intention. Tatah kinte karomyaham. Then there is no option for me. Kinte karom aham kin karomi. There is no option. You are not even giving me any option anyway. You decided to take me by force. So she's saying as if she's little uh, scared, or not that way, but basically I don't have any option. You are not giving me any other option. Basically, you already made up your mind to uh, take me by force. ऋषिरुवाच इत्युक्तः सोऽभ्यधावत्ताम् असुरो धूम्रलोचनः हुङ्कारेणैव तं भस्मसात् चकाराम्बिका तदा. After shouting like that, Dhumralochana started getting into the action. Basically, he is shouting and started running towards where Devi was, and she just didn't even move, and she did hunkara, just said hum, and uh, that was enough to make him as a to ashes. Basically, she burned him with her hunkara. There ended the Dhumralochana, all his strength and everything, with just one hunkara of the Devi. Bhasmasat chakara Ambika tada. Tada, then Ambika hunkarena eva tam bhasmasat chakara. She did him a pile of ash just by doing a hunkara. There ended Dhumralochana. Then अथ क्रुद्धं महासैन्यमसुराणां तथाम्बिका ववर्षसायकैस्तीक्ष्णैस्तथा शक्तिपरश्वधैः. The the Asura Sainya did not learn their lesson even after their leader was burnt just by mere hunkara. They thought they can uh, overpower Devi, and अथ क्रुद्धं महासैन्यम असुराणाम तथा Ambika. Then the Asura Sainya started throwing arrows, Shakyayudhas, and axes. Many of them. There are 60,000 of them. So all those things started pouring towards Devi. Then the Devi's Vahana got into the action, very upset. Tato dhutasatah kopat कृत्वा नादं सुभैरवं पपातासुरसेनायां सिंहो देव्या स्ववाहनः. The Devyaha Swavahanaha Simhaha. Devi's Vahana Simha got very angry. Dhuta Sataha opened up her mane and got angry and roared once. Subhairavan Nadam Krutva Nadam Subhairavam. Roared with gave a great roar, and Papata Asurasenanam, she just jumped onto the all the 60,000 army. Here, mother's Vahana Simha is also very special, and there is a lot of description about the Simha and how just the mere jhana on Simha itself can remove a lot of the fears. कांश्चित् करप्रहारेण दैत्यानास्येन चापरात्. कांश्चित् करप्रहारेण कर सिंहस्य करप्रहारेण, with her hands. Some कांश्चित् करप्रहारेण दैत्यान्य आस्येन चापरान्. आस्येन, with her mouth. Some आक्रान्त्याधरेण्यांयान्, started tearing them apart at middle of their body, and some the Simha started tearing their chests and created havoc and started destroying and killing the Asuras. केशांश्चित् पाटयामास नखैः कोष्ठानि केसरी. So with her, with his sharp nails, uh, opened up the internals of the Rakshasas, and tatha talapraharena shirasan krutavan prathak, started separating the heads from the bodies. That's how the Simha was doing the yuddha. Vichhinnabahu shirasah krutastena tadha pare papau charudhirankoshta danyesham dhutakesaraha. For some, it's Simha started separating the hands, legs, and all the body parts, and papau charudhiram, uh, started drinking the blood coming out of the Rakshasas. क्षणेन तद्बलं सर्वं क्षयन्नीतां महात्मना तेन केसरिणा देव्या वाहनेन अतिकोपिना तेन केसरिणा तेन केसरिणा देव्याः वाहनेन अतिकोपिना. Within minutes, that Mahasimha completed the destruction of the Asura army. And Shrutva tamasuram devya nihitam dhumralocanam balanchakshaitam krutsnam devi kesarina tataha. Shrutva tamasuram devya nihitam dhumralocanam. Shrutva de tam asuram dhumralocanam nihatam Shrutva. Having listened the death of Asura Dhumralochana by Devi, Balanchakshaitam Krutsnam Devi Kesarina Tataha. Not just the Dhumralochana, the entire army, Balanchakshaitam Krutsnam. Krutsnam means in the entirety, Sampurnam. Sainyam was killed and destroyed and annihilated by Devi Kesarina Tataha, with by the Vahana of the Devi. Having listened all this, Shumbha got the message. Chukopadaityadhipati Shumbha praspuritadharah Ajñapayama Sachatau Chandamundau Mahasuro. The original dual. Basically, these are the guys who spotted first and foremost Devi in the Himalaya Pranta and gave this advice. These are also generals in his army. And he said, they Chanda and Munda. Chukopa Daityadhipatihi Shumbhaha Praspurita Adharaha. With when one is extremely angry, they cannot speak normal sentences. Body starts shaking. And that is the case of Shumbha. He is extremely enraged, and his lower lip is vibrating, and because he is super angry. Ajñapayamasa chatau Chandamundau Mahasurau. He ordered the Chanda and Munda as follows. हे चण्ड हे मुण्ड बलैर्बहुभिः परिवारितौ तत्र गच्छत गत्वा च सा समानीयतान् लघु. हे चण्ड, ओ चण्ड, हे मुण्ड, ओ मुण्ड, बलैर्बहुभिः परिवारितौ. Take as much army as necessary. Take all the armies. Tatra gachata. Go, get there quickly. Laghu, samaniyatam laghu. Get there, and sa samaniyatam laghu gatvacha. Bring her quickly as possible. Take as many forces as necessary, all the forces if need be, and go and bring her. By now he understood she is not ordinary, and as she alone annihilated the entire army of 60,000 with Dhumralochana. So again, his Rakshasa nature did not change here. What he was saying is केशा केशेष्वाकृष्य बद्ध्वा वा यदि वस्संशयो युधि तदा शेषायुधैः सर्वैरसुरैर्विनिहन्यताम्. So kesheshvakrishya badbhava. You have couple of options. You can drag her by hair, or you can tie her up, or if you get into any doubt uh, uh, that you are not able to bring her alive, okay, you have my permission to kill her. Okay, so it is very much like I want her dead or alive. That is the order he is giving. If we can overpower, definitely by all means. If you can't, don't worry. Just uh, you have my permission to kill her as well. Uh, so in this, yeah, then. तस्यां हतायां दुष्टायां सिंहे च विनिपातिते शीघ्रमागत्य तां बद्ध्वा गृहीत्वा तामथाम्बिकां. तस्यां हतायां दुष्टायां तां सिंहे च विनिपातिते. Don't worry, my orders are the same for the simha also. Just kill the simha also. And he uses the word ambika. Shighram agatyatam badhva gruhitva matha ambikam. He uses the word ambika. The commentary says Shumbha, in this case, he is overpowered by two Antashatrus, Kama and Krodha, and he doesn't understand what is coming out of his mouth. First, he said he is dushta. Then she said, kill her. Then he said, kill the simha. Then once a little bit of his kopa comes down, he says, Ambika. You use the word Ambika. Then probably because he at this point he realized that killing a woman is not something looked favorably for the Esha. That's probably the reason. Or he could have thought that she is because it is Himalaya Pranta, she is might be Shiva's consort. That he is might have realized she might be the Ambika, the Shiva's Parvati. So even then he doesn't care, but still he's completely taken by the anger. So that's the reason probably the Ambika Shabda was used. That is the commentary additional explanation given here. Anyways, Chanda and Munda were set out to Rishi continues the story, Sumedhasa to Suratha. Ajñaptaste tato daityaha Chandamunda purogamaha Chaturangabalopeataha Yayurabhyudyatayudaha. Ajñaptaha te tataha daityaha Chandamunda purogamaha. Many Rakshasas along with walking in the front are Chanda and Munda. They started for the conquest and to on their mission along with all the Chaturangas, the Padati, Ashva, Gaja, and all the Rathas and all that. And they are so energized, and they wanted to go first. They are kind of rushing. I am first. Aham purvam ichevam vadino drutam. I will take care of her first. I will do. Gruhitu mataan devim shulapattishadharinah. They are pushing each other and saying, I will do the job, I'll get the job done. And that's the enthusiasm they have. And they uh, were carrying different ayudhas, like I think I went back. ददृशुस्ते ततो देवीमी श्रद्धा संव्यवस्थितां सिंहस्योपरि शैलेन्द्रशृङ्गे महति काञ्चने. So there, when they approached the Himawat Parvata Pranta, they saw uh, it is golden light is falling on the Parvata, and she is seated, comfortably seated on her Simha, and she has a small smile on her face. That smile is from their ajnana, even though uh, they they are so stubborn and dumb that have, even after learning, all the entire army of 60,000 were simply annihilated just few, few days before, or just before this. Having, even after knowing all that, they are rushing towards her with such a uh, such a enthusiasm. Basically, their ajnana, for their ajnana, she had a smile on her face. ते दृष्ट्वा तां सदा समादातुम् उद्यमं चक्रुरुद्यताः अकृष्टचापासिधरास्तथान्ये तत्समीपगाः. ते दृष्ट्वा तां समादातुम् उद्यमं चक्रुः उद्यताः. आकृष्टच अपः असि धराः तथा अन्ये तत्समीपगाः. So some were started throwing akrushtachapaha. Akrushtachapaha means completely extended bows. Asidharaha, with the asi means the swords. Samadatum ujjamam. So they wanted to overpower her. Samadatum means to tie her up, to overpower. Chakruhu ujjataha. They started their uh, efforts, and they started getting closer to her. Tat samipagaha. So they just wanted to get close and overpower and uh, make her as a prisoner. Then ततः कोपं चकारोच्चैरम्बिका तानरीन् प्रति कोपेन चास्या वदनं मषीवर्णमभूत् तदा. Here, Kali Pradurbhava is described here. Then, when they started getting closer, just like dhUmralochana's case, when they got a little closer, then she got a little angry. Tatas kopam chakara. She brought up the anger within her. Ambikantan Areen Prati. Ari means the enemies. Areen Prati Kopam Chakara Ambika. So she got angry. She brought anger in herself, and then Kopena Chasya Vadanam Mashi Varnam Abhut Tada. Mashi Varnam. Mashi means ink. So black, with, until that point she is prasanna vadana, very fair complexion. With when they started coming little closer, she got angry and her face became dark. भ्रुकुटीकुटिलास्तस्य ललाटपलकाद्भृतं कालीकरालवदना विनिष्क्रान्तासिपासिनी. So, Bhrukti Kutula Tasya, from between her eyebrows, where the Agnya Chakra is there, Lalata Palakad Dhrutam, from her Lalata Palaka, that is from her forehead, in her forehead, from her forehead, from the place where Bhrukuti, the eyebrows meet, that is from the Agnya Chakra area, then Kali Karala Vadana Vinishkranta Asipasini. So when one hand she has Asi, the sword, and another hand she had Pashayutha, and there Kali was born. Kali came out. Here we will just pause a little bit and go through some of the verses of Kali Dhyana that was written by my father, and Kali will again come next Raktabijavadha also. We will see a lot of Kali Tattva during that time, but this is the Kali Swarupa. I won't go word by word, but at least uh, give a quick summary of each of these verses. वाचं मह्यं वितरसु भगे कालिका पालिमातः येनाहन्ते दशविधमहामन्त्रविद्या विभाव्या स्तोत्रं कुर्यां प्रविमलमतिः प्रीतये ते नित्यं प्रीता भूत्वा दिश मम शिवे नेत्रयोर्दर्शनन्ते. हे काली माता, with the speech given to me, I am setting out a prayer. Stotram kuryam pravimalamatihi. Be pleased with that and please appear before me. Prita bhutva dishamama shive netrayor darshanante. That is the purpose. Sri Vidyatvam Paramakaruna Purna Chittasi Mataham Tasmatvam Vai Dashasu Parama Chadya Vidya Swarupa Vedasteshu Prathita Mahima Vaijutim Rupametya Brahmandam Stvam Mahitatarasa Bhanjayasye Nityam. You are the first Mahavidya among the Dasha Mahavidyas, and in Vedanta and in the Tantra, you are worshipped as the Vaidjuti Rupa, as a lightning, and Brahmandam Stvam Mahitatarasa Bhanjayasya, you are the Layakarini, and like I pray to you like this. Brahmandaste janani kalita rundamala nuvidha kalatitam tavahi mahimam dundumajjet ninadaihi vidyutkancha vilasitatanoor nilameghat छटाभाद व्यक्ति कुर्वन् जनिशमः कालिके कालरूपे. You are carrying that mundamala to Brahmandaste Janani Kalita Rundamala Nuvidhaha. The Rundamala that you are wearing is to show your Kalatita Swarupa. They are, whenever you walk or move around, they are rubbing against each other and making dum 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 sound. And you have this Vidyut Kanti. You are like this lightning, and you are wearing this Gundamala to keep track of just as if it is a counting of how many Brahmandas you did the Laya. And another significance of Rundamala is there are two aspects that one is very proud of. Every human being, oh, I have this intelligence, and that is represented by the head. and all, no matter what were thoughts, my deeds, all those things are just in a minute. Basically, Kala Swarupini Kali will will get into the time. There is nothing that stays permanent. That is one. And she wears all those hands uh, near the waist. That is to represent essentially all the things you do is your hands represent all the works, all your works, no matter what. They are also, there is no permanence to any of those things. They also get into the Kala. There is nothing that can withstand the Kala's power. So that is the representation, symbolic representation. Vyakti kurvan yanishamaha kalike kala rupe. That is the thing. Agnyam prapya kshanachakidayor netrayor devi devah rudrasajya prachalita maha tandavodbhinna lokam krutva paschan vahim पश्चात् तव हि महिमा कर्षणालुप्तचेता शेते भूमौ तव हि परमं चासनं कर्तुमेवम् आज्ञां प्राप्य भवत्याः आज्ञां प्राप्य ओके रुद्र when gets your agnya in a moment he just he uses your power and sajja rudra sajja prachalatah mahatandavodbhinna lokam, he does the mahatandava and does the laya and krutva paschat tavahi mahima. After the job is done, he becomes Shiva, becomes Shava, and he becomes Asana for you. Shete bhumau tavahi paramam chasanam kartumevam. Krutva paschat tavahi mahima karshana lupta cheta. So he just uh, becomes very achetana, almost like a Shava. शेते भूमौ तव हि परमं चासनं कर्तुमेवम्. This is an अन्धीभूते जगति सुमहत्तेज एवं विधात्री शावासीन करुणविलसदृष्टिपातं विधाय मन्त्रग्रामं प्रणवकलितं नादमूलं प्रणीय लोकाभ्रष्टुं सुविमलमतिं कुर्वती त्वं विभासि. सृष्ट्वा लोकं सचलममलं प्राणिनां दीनभावं दृष्ट्वा मातः परमकरुणाविष्टचित्ता त्वमेषा अन्तर्लीना तनुषु कुरुषे कुण्डली शक्तिरूपा सर्वा चेष्टा सदयमुदयं तन्वती नित्यमेवम्. पिण्डे पिण्डे गतिमुपगता प्राणमा वेशयन्ती अन्ते चैनं शिथिलततं कालरूपा करोषि इत्येवं मे भवति हि मतिश्चात्मशक्तिप्रदात्री त्वं मे भूया अभयवरदा मोक्षदा चैव मातः. काली माता करसरसिजे बिभ्रती वै कपालं रुण्डान् वरगलगतांश्चास्थिमालां च कट्यां सव्ये हस्ते असिमतिसितं कृत्तशीर्षन्तु वामे पादान्यासाद् हृदि मम चिरं शान्तिमाविष्करोतु. त्वत्पादं मे हृदयफलके न्यस्य धन्यं मदीयं देहं सर्वं पुलकितशिवं देवि मातर्विधत्तां धन्यं मन्ये जनुरिदमहं तावता नास्ति तुभ्यं कष्टं किञ्चित् करमपि शिवे देहि पादारविन्दम्. दंष्ट्रैरुग्रां प्रकटितमहाभीमरूपाङ्करालीं कालीं त्वां वै करुणकलितां भावयाम्यार्तिहन्त्रीं भीमा भूमा भवसि वरदा भावना मात्रतुष्टा दिग्वासास्त्वं दिशसि परमां मोक्षसाम्राज्यलक्ष्मीम्. This is the dhyana. We can, some of it will speak to us anyway. So with this type of the rupa, Bhrukuti Bhrukuti Kutilastasyan Lalada Palakadrutan Kali Karalavadana Vinishkranta Ashipasini, that Kali Murti emerged and out of Kaushiki Shakti's Agnya Chakra, and her Vichitra Tandavam. Basically, her Layakaryam we will see in next couple of shlokas. Vichitra Khatwanga Dhara Naramala Vibhushana Dvipi Charma Paridhana Shushkamam Sati Bhairavam. She has a different different uh, ayudhas, weapon. Her weaponry is described here. Khatwanga, something like a uh, leg of a bed, and she is wearing Rundamala, basically Shatru Kapalas uh, as a mala, and she is Dvipi Charma Paridhana, Vyaghra Charmambara, Shushka Mamsati Bhairava. Shushka, uh, she is very skinny, uh, uh, very skinny, and you can see her bones, but uh, very scary to look at. And she is making huge amount of uh, sounds, Bhairava Attahasa. Just by hearing that kind of thing, basically, one can, if Mrityu takes a form, that is her. So that kind of form is there. Ati vistara vadana jihva lalana bhishana nimagna rakta nayana nada purita dingmukham. She doesn't, her mouth doesn't close. Ati vistara vadana. Extremely large mouth. Jihva lalana bhishana. The tongue is always is like a jwala. It is always moving and ready to uh, eat anything that comes in her way. And her eyes are extremely red, and she is making sound that is filling up the entire Yuddha Bhumi, and it's creating lot of fear in the armies, Shatru Sainyas. Savegena ghatayanti mahasuran. She doesn't lose a minute. She is Kala Swarupini. Immediately, Vegana Abhipatita, she just jumped onto the armies that are there. Sanye Tatra Surarinam Abhakshata Yatatad Balam. So, see, she started eating anything and everything that is approaching her. Uh, who are they? Uh, पार्शिग्राहान् कुशग्राहान् योधघण्टा समन्वितान् समादायैकहस्तेन मुखे चिक्षेपवारणान्. Everything just like how we can take these peanuts into our mouth. She started taking Kushagrahan, Ankushagrahan. The elephants are there, and with the elephants, there are the uh, mahouts who are there with Ankushas. She started putting the mahout and the elephant into her mouth. And same thing with a chariot, ashwas, and everything. Whole thing goes into her mouth. तथैव योधं तुरगैरथं सारथिना सह निक्षिप्य वक्त्रे दशनैश्च चर्वयन्त्यतिभैरवम्. Once it goes into the mouth, she keeps chewing them. Okay, it is very similar to the Bhagavad Gita description of 11th chapter, Vishwarup Sandarshan. एकं जग्राहकेशेषु ग्रीवायामथ चापरम्. एकं जग्राहकेशेषु, one she gets hold by the hair and puts it into her mouth. Another guy, somebody else, she holds by a kantha and put him into her mouth. And some she tramples with her legs. पादानाक्रम्य चैवान्यम् उरसान्यपोथयत् उरसा अन्यम् अपोथयत्. She kills somebody else by pounding on the chest, takes somebody by the hair, somebody by the throat, any and every means, doesn't matter, body parts doesn't matter. तैर्मुक्तानि च शस्त्राणि महास्त्राणि तथा सुरैः मुखेन जग्राहरुषा दशनैर्मथितान्यपि. So they are throwing various kinds of weapons at her, and anything and everything. She is Kala, so everything goes into her mouth and she makes it like a powder. Dashanair madhitanyapi. She is moving with such a rage. Balinam tadbalam sarvam asuranam duratmanam mamarda bhakshayachanyan anyanscha tadayattada. Like that, whoever thought they are the powerful, she took the power of all these powerful people. Some she just ate, some she killed. Tadayantada. So mamarda bhakshayachanyan anyanscha tadayattada. So mamarda is common to both. So either by killing by chewing them or by crushing them. Either way, they are all killed. Asinani hata kechit khatvaangataditaha. Some were killed by her asi, that is the sword. Some were by khatvanga. Jagmur vinasha masuraha tantagra abhihatas. Some were chewed, simply she chewed them. क्षणेन तद्बलं सर्वम् असुराणान्निपातितं दृष्टो चण्डोऽभिदुद्रावतां कालीमतिभीषणाम्. Within seconds, क्षणेन तद्बलं सर्वम् असुराणान्निपातितं. Within a minute, within a moment, all of having seen all the army destroyed and annihilated, दृष्ट्वा चण्डः अभिदुद्राव तां कालीम् अतिभीषणाम्. Chanda started running towards the Kali to face her and to destroy. Sharavarshairmahabhimaihi bhimakshim tam mahasuraha. He started throwing so many arrows. Chadayamasa chakraischa mundai kshiptais sahasrashah. He has many chakrayudhas and banas and chakrayudhas. He started throwing at her in thousands. And as if like a big pour, he started throwing all of anything and everything he has, he started throwing at her. Tani chakranyanekani vishamanani tanmukham. Doesn't matter what enters her mouth, it all meets the same fate. Tani chakrani anekani vishamanani tanmukham. All those chakrayudhas and banas that entered into her mouth, babhuryadharka bimbani subahuri mukhanodaram. So each of them are not like think of the nuclear missiles somebody is putting, doesn't matter. Even if everything is of that as bright as a sun, uh, uh, once they enter, her mouth was shining like a big uh, glow of sun. A lot of light, bright light is there, and everything is entering her. And imagine a black hole. Nothing is subahuni ghanodaram. So everything is entering her into her mouth, and nothing is returning back. Tato jahasa tirusha Bhimam Bhairavanaadini Kale Karalavadana Durdarsha Dashanojvalam. So no one can tataha jahasa atirusha bhimam bhairavanadini. Uh, she's making great sound, and she's creating such a fear through her sound. And no, durdarsha dashanojvala. Dashana is the mouth. Durdarsha, no, with that much amount of light, her mouth, the brightness of her mouth, even our face can't be seen. And she is, in spite of all that, she made a big roar or a laugh, almost like a call of the death. And utthaya cha mahasimham devi chandamadhavatam gruhitva chasya kesheshu siraste nasinachinat. She ran towards uh, um, ut- ran towards the Chanda and uh, held him by his hair, and with one hand she held, and gruhitva cha asya kesheshu shirastena asinat chinat. Tena shiras asinat chinat. With a sword in her one hand, she chopped that head of Chanda. So now she has Chanda's head in one hand. अथ मुण्डोऽभ्यधावत्तां दृष्ट्वा चण्डन्निपातितं. Chanda was fell down and died in her hands. He saw that Munda, her brother, his brother. Then he started running towards her. Adha mundobhyadhavattam društva chandam nipatitam tamapyapata yadbhumau sa khadga abhihatam rusham. uh, he started running towards her, and he met the same fate. Uh, she, with uh, within one motion, she separated the head of Munda from his body also. So Munda was also killed. He ran towards Mrityu, and Mrityu took care of him with the Khadga. He met the same fate. हतशेषं ततः सैन्यं दृष्ट्वा चण्डन्निपातितं मुण्डं च सुमहावीर्यं दिशो भेजे भयातुरम्. Hatasesham tatasainyam. Whoever, whatever little sainya that is left, Drishtva Chandan Nipatitam Mundancha Sumahaviryam. Both Munda and Chanda were killed, and they started running for their lives. Then Shiraschandasya Kali cha Grihitva Mundameva cha Praha Prachandāttahasam attahasam mishramabhyetya chandikam. So she made, that is the picture. So she killed both Chanda and Munda, held both the heads in her hand. Shiras Chandasya Kalicha Gruhitva Mundamevacha. In both hands, she was holding the heads of these two guys, and she started laughing. Attahasam, Praha Prachandattahasam Mishramabhyetya Chandikam. She approached the Chandika, uh, Chandika Devi, and she started Maya Tava Tropahritau Chandamundau Mahapashu Yuddhayajna Swayam Shambhum Nishumbhancha Hanishyasi. Hey Amba, she made the promise to Ambika. She came out for this purpose, to destroy these two guys, and she said, "You are, oh Chandi, now you started this Yuddha Yajna, where you wanted to destroy Shumbha and Nishumbha. Because you started this yajna, I brought this Pashu, Mahapashu. Yajna Bali is required, and I made these two guys as the Pashu for your yajna. मया तवो अत्र उपहृतौ तत्र तव अत्र उपहृतौ चण्डमुण्डौ महापशून्. I brought these two yajna pashus for your yuddha yajna, and now you take care of Shumbha and Nishumbha. And Devi says, Kaushiki says, तावानीतौ ततो दृष्ट्वा चण्डमुण्डौ महासुरौ उवाच कालीं कल्याणी ललितं चण्डिका वचः. Having seen the two heads brought by Kali, Chandika Kaling Kalyanim towards Kali, addressing Kali, Lalitam, very sweet, and said the following sweet words to Kali by Kaushiki Shakti or Chandika. Yasmat Chandancha Mundancha Gruhitva Tvamupagata. Because of this act of yours, where Yasmat, uh, uh, by which you brought both Chanda and Munda here like this, from now on, you will be known as Chamundeti Tato Loke Kshata Devi Bhavishyasi. You will be known from now onwards, not just as Kali, but also as Chamunda. And that's the reason Kali was also worshipped as Chamunda. So with this, we complete the Chandamunda Vadha iti षष्ठोऽध्यायः. मार्कण्डेय पुराणे सावर्णके श्रीदेवी महात्म्ये चण्डीस्तवे नवशती मन्त्रमालायां पञ्चमः, नवशत्यां पञ्चमः. अस्तु. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. धन्यवादाः. पुनर्मिलामः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.